Talk to me about that, the daily limitation session, because I think that's touching on something super interesting. What is your daily limitation session?
No, I was just, this was the first time I ever used this word, you know. I mean, it's important to have a limitation, as you know, as you've touched on with a lot of different people. And I think it's the most important one to be creative, obviously, you know. So whenever I feel like, okay, there's like an endless sea of possibilities out in this world, you know, I get nothing done. So as soon as I say like, okay, I'm gonna just use this Roland MC909 or the Yamaha RM1X that I have standing here. I'm just gonna do a track only with the sounds that I get from this thing. I'm instantly way more inspired than I would have if I just sat down and just see what happens. You
I
know,
think this is so valuable, and like I also get lost when I look for too many things, and intentionally, but having intention to say it's like I'm only going to use those sounds is super super valuable. And you know, like not everybody does that, you know, like especially these days with, I think especially laptop producers have way too many choices, you know, way too many choices.
yeah, but
You
I've had
like,
the same with the laptop, you know, like
yeah,
it doesn't have to be the Yamaha or something. Just lately, I thought like, man, there are so good drum kits already in the latest Ableton version. I need to have a dive into these because also with other effects that they the macros that they already put on there to
yeah.
kind of enhance them and saturate them or something. You know, you can do like your whole drum groove only with the drum racks from Ableton, and they sound so cool, man. It's
Yeah,
really also
yeah.
this is kind of limitation you can set yourself in. This I only got the idea I got from a collaboration with Marcelo, I think it was or something, because
Yeah.
before that I was, to be honest, I never checked out the drum racks from Ableton because I thought they were cheap or something. You know, I don't know
I've
why I
never
thought
checked
that
them
way.
out, but now that you're telling
Yeah.
me, I think I have to check them
Uh,
out as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I saw like on a collaboration project that I did with Marcelo, he used like a lot from the drum racks inside of Ableton. And I thought like, man, it sounds so crisp. I always wanted to do something like this as well. And he just got it from the drum racks in Ableton. I mean, I don't know why I thought they would be cheap because like Ableton is crazy good, you know. I don't almost don't use any plugins anymore because Ableton has everything you need.
That's one of the things that I love about collaborating is that you always get new perspectives. People always work in ways that you find unexpected. Although you might be using the exact same tools, they do things differently. And
Yeah.
it's just so valuable to shake up the production process and to just see how other people work.
Yeah.
So like, let's get a little bit into that. Like, you are quite active as a collaborator. Like, your collaborations with Chris Stussy as Stussco are quite legendary, and I have many of your tracks that you guys made together in my forever record box. You know, the tracks that
Forever.
are getting played. Yeah, the tracks that are getting played like
Yeah.
literally in every single set. You've just said that you've collaborated with Marcelo, who's another producer that I really admire for his sense of musicality. How did that come about? Let's talk about this latest collab with Marcelo.
So the first thing I knew from Marcelo was the release that he had on Full Amour's label. The Dear Future it was called. And this track got me hooked on this guy. You know, I thought like, okay, man, who is this? I want to check him out. I sent it to Stassi as well. You know, I thought like, okay, man, you know, check this guy out. And Stassi said, yeah, man, I've been giving this guy a little bit of advice for some time now already, you know, like, and he sent me like a link to one of his Instagram posts from like a few years back at Taushaven or something where Stassi was playing the track I was talking of, the Dear Future one. So I thought, okay, of course he's got his eye already on him, you know, like
Of course,
I'm late to the fucking party.
Stasi already knows. He always already knows.
Yeah, exactly, you know. So anyway, it doesn't matter. I was hooked on Marine's tracks from there on his productions, and I wanted to sign something for Hoof. We did in the end as well, which is on our latest compilation now. But he's already also sent me like a bunch of other records. They were all really good, really sophisticated. I think he's
Very
23
sophisticated.
23
yes.
or 24 years old.
Such a
If I
mature sound. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good, like really, and it's not overproduced. It's just the way how it should be, and I feel like there's 20 years of making beats knowledge already in his first tracks. If I would
Yeah.
have had this, I don't know, like I don't know if you call it knowledge or something, but the way of thinking and production.
Maturity.
Yeah, I don't like maturity. I don't like
Yeah.
maturity. I've touched on it before, I think, in some podcasts. I think maturity is the absolute wrong word for music.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I don't know. Music,
Yeah.
it's about play. It's about, trying things out, being a kid and everything, right? It's not about trying to grow up and not daring to do things anymore,
I like
right?
that actually. I like that.
So,
That's a very
so
good
what
perspective.
what does mature mean?
It means serious, right? It means serious, and
Yeah, why-
it means yeah. Like no, I like that. Yeah, creativity.
Are you
is
not
about
serious
play.
before you matured?
Yeah. I mean, look, I like that. I like that. I like that take. I think probably maturity is an easy word that you can throw around.
I know.
But
And
but when
everyone
you
can call it how they want it,
yeah.
It's just I just don't like the word. You can like
Yeah,
it. It's all right.
but I like your perspective on this because, like, you've touched on something important, which is that creativity is about play, and playfulness comes also from childishness and not being mature.
Yeah.
And if you can, like, people always say that, like, if you can tap into playfulness, like
It's seeing what happens,
Yeah.
and letting it happen, and maturity is more like, okay, I've experienced something bad will come out, I'm not going to do it or something, I think these are the things which stand against each other, and that's why I don't like maturity as a good word to say your tracks blossom way more now or something,
No, I really like that, and like what you just said now is, I think, something really important. Seeing what happens, like allowing the track to be what it wants to be. I always say,
to be shit.
Yeah, like
like putting delays on stuff and thinking like, okay, this, I don't know if this can turn out good, but I'm just gonna see what happens. And the mistakes make the cool things in the studio, right? So, and the mistakes happen from being a kid, I guess, so
yeah, and like I agree with that a lot. I struggle with that sometimes because I will have like an idea in my head of what the track should be, and then when the track doesn't, like, quite often it doesn't turn out to be what I have in my head. And then, like, whenever I'm fighting against the vision that I have in my head, that's when creativity dies, right? Because you become frustrated and whatnot. But when you allow the track to just go in whatever direction it wants to be, and think like, no, it doesn't have to be this particular kind of track now. Like, yes, I've thrown in a pad now and it's becoming something a bit deeper or softer, whatever, but I'm feeling this right now, rather than going with what is your idea that you have in your head, and going with a feeling is so much more important. But like, I think that can sometimes be really hard to let go of your preconceived notions of what you have in your head. How do you deal with that?
Exactly the same way that you just described it. I most of the time also, when I start making music, I want to copy something which I like. I mean, it was the initial factor which got me into producing. So I tried to make a George Butler track, for example. I start out, and then after a few minutes already, I know it's not going that direction. But I don't care, and I try to embrace the new direction it's becoming, So, but then again, you don't really think too much anymore, right? This is the state of flow that you want to be in, and to not think about how am I going to finish this track. The best things. That's why you never remember the good tracks, because they just happened. They just happened, yeah. So
They just happened.